Check, check. Gracias. Thank you. Hello, hello. The last one. How's everyone doing? How was the weekend? Good weekend? Yeah. My name is Curt. I go by the stage name of Flosstradamus. I've been DJing, playing festivals. This is me at EDC. I've been doing it for over 20 years. I even played a show last night in Phoenix, Arizona, and flew right from the show to here to present to you. And I used a lot of technology in my process. I use blockchain, I use AI, and I wanted to kind of go through the mindset of how it is for me to create with AI and with a lot of these tech tools, and just kind of give some inspiration to anyone out there who's doing that type of stuff. I'm hitting skip. There we go. I just wanted to talk about the remix mindset. So there's 3 core concepts of creativity. It is copy, transform. This clicker works. Let me point it at them. I gotta shoot them with a clicker. There we go, transform, and then combine. So this is how I look at a lot of things. There's a lot of times I'll take an idea from someone else and then transform it into my own way, and then I'll do a little bit of a remix and do that in my creative works. Clickers over here. Maybe I can use the other clicker. So I want to talk about the inspirational sparks. Without the light bulb, without electricity, we wouldn't have the light bulb. So I wanted to talk about how that works through cultural remixing. So just like without electricity, we wouldn't have the light bulb, we had Elvis Presley, and he was inspired by Chuck Berry, which came before him, and then he was inspired by Bob Willis. And we can click through and play each one of these. Let's try with the Elvis one first.
Got a gal that I love so. Ready to rock and roll.
And now we can listen to Chuck Berry.
Oh, Maybelline, can't you be true? Oh, Maybelline, why can't you be true? You done started back doing the things you used to do.
So Chuck Berry inspired Elvis, and Chuck Berry was inspired by Bob Willis, so we can listen to that as well.
Light the fire, find the great clock on the mantel, says it's getting late. The curtains on the window, snowy white. The parlor is pleasant on Sunday night. Ida red, I'm plumb full about Ida red.
So each one of these people were inspired by the previous, and I just wanted to show the evolution of them remixing, if you will, in between each is what created the new genres. So let's talk about technological remixing. So the Xerox Alto was one of the very first computers with a GUI, with a screen and a mouse. And Xerox made this in 1973, and they just shelved it. It never came out. But it inspired a company called Apple, and Apple invented the Macintosh based on what they saw with the Alto. And they envisioned a personal computer, being in the homes all over the world. And from someone's discarded technology, there was some new technology that was created. So just like how Elvis was influenced by Chuck Berry, Apple was influenced by Xerox. And it made a combination and a remix of the old tech going into the new. So I wanted to talk about combination and innovation. So these are drum machines and synthesizers. This is how a lot of early dance music was made, was on these machines. But these machines were discarded. They were created for rock bands and disco bands of the time, but they didn't sound like real drummers or real bass guitars. So they just got put on the shelf and thrown into pawn shops and thrown away to the wayside. And then they got picked up by early dance music pioneers. And what they did was they took these machines and developed the new genres that we know of as house music and dance music. I'm clicking it here, I don't know. Yeah, so the DJs in Chicago and Detroit took these instruments that were made for one case and actually reinvented and created brand new genres. So I want to talk about how they use these machines. They hacked them, quote unquote, hacked them to create new genres. So this is Marshall Jefferson, one of the pioneers of house music. And he actually took that and we can skip that slide. It's okay. He took that and played. You can play that for just a moment. So this machine was made to sound like a bass guitar. That doesn't sound like a bass guitar to me, but it also sounds like something new. So they took old technology, found a way to repurpose it to create a new sound, a new genre, new creative elements. So this right here, this is Liam Howlett. He is one of the members of this band called The Prodigy. And what he did was that he started using samplers. And what samplers are is that you can take a little piece of a song or a little piece of another element and sample it. Just take a little teeny piece of sound, and then you can rearrange those little pieces of sound. So he's remixing these little elements of other songs, putting them all together. And one thing that happened with the technology of the time was it was very limited. So they only had a finite amount of sound that fit on these little floppy disks. So what they did is the things they were sampling, they sped up the speed of them to be able to fit all of those little tiny elements of other people's songs on the keyboard. And you can play that one right now. So he's taking little elements of other people's songs and putting them all together in this keyboard. Those are drums from an old soul record. A vocal sample from another record. A keyboard sound. And when you combine all those sounds together, you get a song. Let's go. And this is how early dance music was made, just taking little teeny elements of other people's music, repurposing it, and putting it together to make your own creation. So from the records and how they made records, I want to transition into actual records. And then this is where we talk about blockchain a little bit. So just like there was the people before them with Elvis and Chuck Berry, before there was blockchain, there was ancient ledgers, like these old school ledgers. People used to keep track of how much money was in the bank, things like that. Then that evolved into centralized banking that we kind of grew up on. Then the centralized banking adopted digital transactions. There we go, digital banking. And then, of course, the digital banking evolved into blockchain. And if you think about that, this is just like I was showing with the different musicians. They were influenced by the previous, but these things couldn't have been created if it wasn't for the previous. And the same goes to actual blockchain. So Merkle trees were some of this early technology from like the 1970s, and they took that technology and adapted it into digital timestamping in the 90s. And then in the mid-90s, a lot of the hash cash and proof of work was adapted into the blockchain technology. And then that also went into Napster, BitTorrent, things like that, that also got all spun up together, remixed to become what we know as a blockchain and how blockchain transactions are happening. So I want to talk about how I think about this. When I was in 2021, I realized there was not a lot of ways to like mint NFTs physically. So I created this technology. I made a physical vape, which I actually brought here. I'll show you guys. So this right here is a physical vape. You can smoke, you can do all of that, but at the bottom of it, I put a USB in this. And this USB has a way to actually unlock NFTs on the blockchain. So when the user plugs it into their computer, their computer now sends a call to their wallet. And then in their wallet, once it transitions to that, so once they plug it in, their wallet then activates, and it mints a NFT to their blockchain via this vape that we made. So a physical device minting digital assets. And we made this in 2021 because I noticed there wasn't a lot of physical to digital ways to mint NFTs. And we only made 3 of these. And the cool thing about that is the 3 holders of the NFT, once all 3 of them mint, so once the third one, which still hasn't been minted, once the third NFT gets minted, then all 3 of them get a new NFT that gets unlocked between all of their wallets. So it's just trying to find a way to use old technology, which is like physical devices, but then bring it into the new world of 2021 and mint NFTs to the wallet. Oops, I'll go back. So one of the things when we released this, because we wanted to promote this, we actually made another NFT for that, and you can play this video. So this video was just a freebie for people. So that sound you hear right now, inside of that NFT that anyone minted to their wallet, they got access to this once it goes up. So what we did is we used this technology, this old technology. It's from like the 1940s, and it was brought into the 90s, and in the 80s and the 90s, it's called steganography. And this is a visualization of what the audio is. So the audio of the NFT you just heard, all the holders of that NFT, if they visualize the audio of the NFT, this is what they got. You can click next for me. I don't know why. There. So this is the visualization of that NFT I just showed you. We hid a seed phrase to a crypto wallet in the NFT. So taking an audio file, taking old tech from the 90s and the 80s, and then bringing it into 2021 where you can actually hide seed phrases in the audio. So making it more of a gamification process. And I'm just trying to show you guys how I think about things and how you can do more than just basic, like just, oh, here, put up your NFT. There's like, you can make it a scavenger hunt. You can make it more of an experience. I blurred out the seed phrase so no one gets it, but this is a way to actually like have more experience into your digital assets. Okay, so let's segue into my music genre and how I think about this when I create music. So this song right here, what I did is I took old like hardstyle samples from like the mid-2000s and I merged it with the hip-hop sounds of the mid-2000s, and it ended up birthing a genre called trap music. So if you don't mind, you can play the first one for a moment. Okay, you can pause that. And then you can play the next one.
I got a whole lot of money. Bitches count it for me. Bottle keep popping that water bad whole jacket. It's a party, it's a party, it's a party.
Okay, you can pause that. It's a party. And then third is the combination of those two. So the space between synths from hardstyle in the mid-2000s to drums from trap hip-hop music in the mid-2000s created a new genre, and this is my interpretation of those two. You can play that last one for me. So taking the sounds of the first one, remixing it with the drums of the second one, and then we finally get a final product of the two. Okay, you can pause that. So I just wanted to show you guys, again, taking old technology, taking old things that people have discarded, you can actually create new elements with those. So enter the latent space. And so the space between those two elements, between hardstyle synthesizers and trap drums, created the genre that I'm known for and what I tour around the world with, called EDM trap. And there's a way to explore that latent space that we all get now with generative AI. So the cool thing with this, I wanted to chat a little bit about Gen AI. So there's a lot of tools now. I'm part of this company called Suno. It's a way to generate music with AI. But I wanted to kind of display what's happening underneath the hood in a visual way. So what we did is we took a bunch of data. So this cat representation is telling the model, this is a cat, this is a cat, this is a cat. And then it keeps adding noise to those images. And then it keeps telling it it's a cat until there's just noise. And then if we want to then prompt, I want a cat with sunglasses on, then you just type that in your prompt, and this is what happens. It removes the noise step by step by step by step until you get your cat with sunglasses. The model knows what sunglasses are. The model knows what a cat is, but it can now generate an image based on the data we fed into it. And that's the cool thing with AI music as well. You can put in soca music and hip hop, and like I did with hardstyle and trap, and then you can explore that latent space, that space in between those 2 points. So we'll skip to this next one here. So with anything with AI, there's this stuff called AI slop, and this is Shrimp Jesus. It's a famous AI image. You can make anything with AI, which is a beautiful thing, but you can also make a lot of bad stuff. And this is another image of salmon swimming up a river. That's just salmon, pieces of salmon. And then finally, we have the 7-finger problem with the model not fully understanding things. But a lot of this has been fixed over time. But I just wanted to show you, you can create slop with AI, but sadly, you can play this. You can also, humans can create slop too. No offense to Katie, but I just kind of want to show you. You can pause that. So even humans can create slop. It isn't about AI, and a lot of times AI gets the bad rap that, oh, it just creates slop, it creates slop. But what I've been trying to stress through my whole presentation is if you have creativity, if you have ways to find that latent space, then you can actually create something really unique, whether it's with tools like AI or just actual production tools. But a lot of people that talk crap on all of this stuff, they actually have like a Luddite mindset. And this is based on when technology came back in the day. I'm trying to click forward here, I'm sorry. There we go. Thank you. So the Luddite mindset came from back when they made machine looms, and a lot of people that were making carpets and textiles, they got their jobs replaced by machines. And so they would come and they would smash these machines, and they're taking our jobs. But I think there's a lot of that happening around AI. But I think the people that are using these tools in a creative way, they can actually create what's next. And that's the one thing I wanted to implore you. You can use a lot of these tools to create the next frontier of anything you're creating with these digital tools. The other thing that happens too is the people that created before, you can play this video real quick.
It comes down to trying to expose yourself to the best things that humans have done, and then try to bring those things in to what you're doing. I mean, Picasso had a saying, he said, good artists copy, great artists steal. And we have, always been shameless about stealing great ideas. And I think part of what made the Macintosh great was that the people working on it were
So a lot of people have this mindset, like the Luddite mindset. And what Steve Jobs is saying here is he's admitting that he's stealing. You can pause this as well. Yeah, okay. He's admitting that he's stealing from other people. Like I showed you earlier, he took the idea of the Xerox personal computer, and then he made something from that. So he's openly admitting it. But as time goes on, Steve Jobs now talks about when Android started making Android, he wanted to sue Android. He said he was going to go thermonuclear war on this. So he had a loss aversion. Initially, he was okay with stealing, but over time, he started to feel like his ideas were being stolen. And I see this a lot in a lot of AI stuff, especially in the music space. A lot of times people say it's taking from our ideas, it's taking from us. But I think a lot of us before have been inspired by the past. We've been inspired by hip-hop and all of these other genres, and we've actually made our own things. So I wanted to point that out, that a lot of people have this mindset in AI. So I want to show you how we're using AI in our companies. So I have a company called Replay. I'm trying to skip. Maybe you can go forward. Thank you. Okay. So what we did is we worked with this group called Major Lazer, and they're an international DJ group. And what we did is we took their song Lean On, it's a big hit that they had, and we converted it into 10 different languages. So we cloned the voice of the original singer of Lean On, and then we had a native language Spanish singer sing Lean On, and we took the voice clone of the original voice and put it over that. And you can play this one right here. This is an example of that. And I wanted to share with you this because this is a way of using AI in a creative way while we're empowering human intervention.
Recuérdalo, si tú y yo seguimos hoy caminando. Lo único que hacemos es cuidarnos en una a otra. La noche encendida se fijo a nacer. Soplando va el viento que nos lleva a lo lejos. Besos vuelan hoy, siempre hay alguien quien apoyarnos. Besos vuelan hoy, porque hay alguien quien apoyarnos. Besos vuelan hoy, siempre hay alguien quien apoyarnos. Besos vuelan hoy, porque hay alguien quien apoyarnos.
Okay, you can pause that. Thank you. So this is just a way of bringing humans into the loop with AI. It's using the tool. It's not necessarily taking away from artists. We actually had multiple humans involved in this process, but we got approval from the original vocalist and the original artist, Major Lazer, to create this. And now this song can go global. It can go all over the world. It can go to India, to all the Spanish-speaking countries, and it's just a way to empower with AI. We also did this with Ty Dolla $ign. I'll save the example, but we cloned his voice, and now all of the people that work with him can now make demos for Ty Dolla $ign in his voice, in his likeness. So I just wanted to evolve this into exploring the latent space. This is something that we see a lot in AI right now. People are taking lyrics from 50 Cent, and they're merging it with the soul singers of previous times. So they're reaching into the latent space of the AI model to create this soul version of 50 Cent. You can play this middle one for me.
Many men wish death upon me. Blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see.
You can pause this one too. So what's happening, like I keep saying, there's the latent space, and with these tools like AI, we can explore those. So we can find the points between soul music and 50 Cent lyrics, and we can create new music from that. So this is kind of a little example of that, but I wanted to just go into where the future is with all of AI music and generative AI. So this is a group from the mid-2000s called the Gorillaz. It was a human-powered band, but they had these avatars representing the music that they were making. And now in 2025, we have K-pop Demon Hunters, which is a very similar thing. And we're starting to take the ideas of these. How can we make new artists with AI? How can we make new music, new visuals, all of that type of stuff? And enter what we've built. We built this character called Death Pixie. And this is a fully avatar artist. And she's a darker, like, demon-style artist. And we actually had her play her first show at Red Rocks in Colorado last night. So I just wanted to show a quick little example. You can hit play on the middle one if it's there. It might not be there, actually. Oh, yeah, hit play. So this is the original vocal take. Oh, I don't know what happened. It's okay. You can pause it. It's okay. So that was the original vocal take. And then we ran that vocal through Suno, and now we have a female vocalist on it. You can play this.
You vowed to me when I was dressed in white. You lied to me until the day we died. And
Okay, you can pause that one as well. So what we did is we took initial voice note on an iPhone of my friend singing, ran it through Suno, and came out with a version that now can fit more of what we built for the character. And then we ended up, again, bringing humans back into the loop. We ended up hiring an actual singer to sing the song, and then we reproduced out the song. I'm skipping multiple times. There we go. And this is the release that we put out last week. So this song got released on Deadmau5's label. It's called Let You Lie, and this is the final production. So it went from a voice note, from just an idea of someone recording a voice note, running it through AI to create an iteration of it, and then we took that iteration and we made this. You can play this.
you vowed to me when I was dressed in white. You lied to me until the day we die. And as you bleed, look me in the eyes, treat you like a tree.
You can pause that.
Headed to the dark side, praying for the white light. Take it to the dark side, and I'll just let you
I'm getting you all ready for the after party after this with this song. So yeah, this is just like I wanted to show you how we can iterate with AI. AI helps you make mistakes faster, and that's the beautiful thing of this. We can take these like simple ideas and turn them into a full character. We can develop the character out with AI, and we can get to the point where, like I said, she just played Red Rocks last night, and this is the venue in Colorado she played. And if you want to play that video over there at the end, the far right video here, this is her actually performing at Red Rocks on Friday night. You can pause that, thank you. So yeah, it went from idea to iteration, and then we iterated with AI, and then we got to the point of creating a full character, a full DJ set, and now we have an artist out there touring and doing all of that. But there's so many humans in the loop. I think a lot of people get confused. It's like, oh, we just prompted this. We typed in, make an artist play at Red Rocks. There's so many humans in the loop. There's so much creativity. There's so much exploration of the latent space. And so yeah, I just wanted to end this with a call to remix. I wanted to show you how I think about all of this. I think about how I can use these technology tools to make a smokable NFT, to doing this, making an artist who can play festivals and play stages like Red Rocks. And just look at all of the discarded technology, look at all the discarded tools, find a way to find that latent space between all of that, and you guys can create something new and maybe even have an artist yourself. That's the beautiful thing about this AI. So thank you so much. My name's Curt Flosstradamus. I'll see you at the after party.
My sorrow into treasure gold.